guys, welcome back to another episode. This video is going to be about Aileen Wuornos. She was an American female serial killer, and the purpose of this video is to show that she was targeted by microwave weapons. Aileen Carol Wuornos was an American serial killer. In 1989-1990, while engaging in street prostitution along highways in Florida, she shot dead and robbed 7 of her male clients. Wuornos claimed that her clients had either raped or attempted to rape her, and that all of the homicides were committed in self-defense. Wuornos was sentenced to death for 6 of the murders, and on October 9, 2002, after 12 years on Florida's death row, was executed by lethal injection. The murders. Wuornos murdered 7 men within a period of 12 months. Richard Charles Mallory, age 51, an electronics store owner in Clearwater, Florida. Wuornos claimed that Mallory beat, raped, and sodomized her after he drove her to an abandoned area for sexual requests. Mallory was Wuornos' first victim, and she claimed to have killed him in self-defense. Later, it became known that Mallory had previously been convicted for attempted rape in Maryland. 2 days after the murder, a Volusia County deputy sheriff found Mallory's abandoned vehicle. On December 13th, his body was found several miles away in a wooded area. He had been shot several times, and 2 bullets to the left lung were found to have been the cause of death. David Andrew Spears, age 47, construction worker in Winter Garden. He was declared missing as of May 19th, 1990. On June 1st, 1990, his naked body was found along U.S. Route 19 in Florida, in Citrus County. He had been shot 6 times by a .22 pistol. Charles Edmund Carskadon, age 40, part-time rodeo worker. On June 6, 1990, his body was found in Pasco County. He had been shot 9 times with a .22 caliber weapon. The body had been wrapped in an electrical blanket and was badly decomposing when found. Witnesses saw Wuornos in possession of Carskadon's car, and Wuornos had also pawned a gun identified as belonging to Carskadon. Peter Abraham Seams, age 65, retired merchant seaman. In June 1990, Seams left Jupiter, Florida for Arkansas. On July 4th, his car was found in Orange Springs, Florida. Moore and Wuornos were seen abandoning the car, and Wuornos' palm print was found on the interior door handle. His body was never found. Troy Eugene Burris, age 50, sausage salesman from Ocala, Florida. Wow, that's really getting down to a specialty, isn't it? Just sausages. On July 31st, 1990, he was reported missing. On August 4th, 1990, his body was found in a wooded area along State Road 19 in Marion County. He had been shot twice. Charles Richard Dick Humphreys, age 56, retired U.S. Air Force major, former state child abuse investigator, and former chief of police. On September 12th, 1990, his body was found in Marion County. He was fully clothed, had been shot 6 times in the head and torso. His car was found in Sewanee County. And the last person she shot, Walter Gino Antonio, age 62, trucker, security guard, and reserve police officer. On November 19, 1990, Antonio's nearly naked body was found near a remote logging road in Dixie County. He had been shot 4 times. 5 days later, his car was found in Brevard County. Okay, guys, so that's what happened. She killed 7 men. And she got arrested for it and sentenced to the death penalty. So she did an interview in jail the day before she was put to death. And I'm going to show you this interview now, and you're going to see how she talks about being targeted by sonic pressure and stuff. And I'm gonna comment on it after the video. So let's watch the video.
I was just wondering how you're going to be, at 9:30 tomorrow morning. Are you prepared?
I'm prepared. right. I'm all right with it.
And how?
I'm all right with it. But like I said, remember, let them know that I know that the cops knew who I was after Richard Mallory died. I left prints everywhere, and they covered it up. And let me kill the rest of those guys to turn me into a serial killer. I know they did. Because I was no professional serial killer or anything. Murderer or whatever you want to call it, It wasn't professional at what I was doing.
Aileen,
Did some sloppy work, and I left
how have
prints.
you prepared yourself for tomorrow morning?
I'm all right with it. Yeah, I'm ready to go. Hey, I was tortured at BCI. They had the intercom on in the room, and they kept lying that it wasn't on, and they were using sonic pressure on my head since 1997.
Sonic
And every
pressure.
time I was trying to write something, I think they had some kind of eye in the cell. I'm not sure, but every time I started writing something, it went up higher. So I'm thinking that probably had the TV rigged. The TV or the mirror, something was rigged. They got a huge satellite on the compound. After they put the huge satellite on the compound, it could have been either rigged to the TV set or the mirror or something, because the electrician, when he put the mirror on the wall, he said, "Doesn't that look like a computer?" The back of it, and he stuck it to the wall.
And do you think did that affect your mind, do you think?
Huh?
Did that affect your mind in some way, the sonic?
It was crushing my head, and they were using sonic pressure continually. And when I had 3 meetings with Miss Villacorta on it, every meeting I had, she increased the pressure of the volume of the comm, increased the harassment on the floor, increased the trays being inedible, just increased every bit of my complaints, and trashed all grievances. They were trying to make it look like I was crazy at all times, rig up the room with torture. If I said anything about I think their whole plan was to try to make it look like I was totally crazy, and so nobody would believe anything I had to say about anything, and then drive me there if they could. I suffered so bad. I was really struggling to survive. Had a lot of trays that were attempted murder and everything. I had to wash all my food off. And then one day I didn't wash my food off, and I was sick for 3 weeks, almost died.
But you're okay now.
I'm okay. I'm okay. God is going to be there. Jesus Christ is going to be there. All the angels and everything. And, whatever's on the beyond. I think it's going to be more like Star Trek, beaming me up into a space vehicle, man. Then I move on, recolonize to another planet or whatever. But it's whatever's the beyond. I know it's going to be good because I didn't do anything as wrong as they said. I did the right thing. And I saved a lot of people's butts from getting hurt and raped and killed too.
So are you saying that you killed in self-defense or in cold blood? Because you've changed your story. I'm just trying to
What are you talking about? Change story on what?
No, about whether it was self-defense or not.
I'm not going to say, I'm not going to get into depth about my cases, Nick. I'm on my way to the chamber, nothing stopping it. You can believe it or you don't have to believe it. That's up to you, man. Put a big question mark on your film.
What more is there to say about the cops? What more do you want to say about the cops?
A lot of stuff. Did you know that they were surveilling me before I killed? And then I knew it? And that it was covered up? Did you know there was helicopters dropping down from the sky? Deputy sheriff with decoys picking me up 4 or 5 months before my arrest? It was covered up?
But nonetheless,
Nobody ever asked me
whether
these
the
questions.
cops were following you or not, Aileen.
Oh, whether the cops were following me or not, Aileen,
okay,
what?
let's say the cops were following you.
Yeah.
Let's say they were following you and they did everything that you're saying they did.
Uh-huh.
Nonetheless,
Yeah.
you killed 7 men.
Yes,
And
you
I'm
did.
asking you, what got you to kill the 7
And I'm
men?
telling you because the cops let me keep killing them, Nick. Don't you
But
get it?
Not everybody is killing 7 people. So there must have been something in you that was getting you to
Oh,
do
you
that.
are lost, Nick.
So
I was a hitchhiking hooker.
Right.
Running into trouble. I'd shoot the guy if I ran into trouble. Physical trouble. The cops knew it. When the physical trouble came along, let her clean the streets. And then we'll pull her in.
But how
That's
come
why.
there was so much physical trouble because it was all in 1 year? 7 people in 1
Oh,
year.
well. Oh, well.
But why not say now?
Because I'm out of in retaliation for taking my life like this and getting rich off it all these years in total pathological lying. Yeah, thanks a lot. I lost my fucking life because of it. Couldn't even get a fair trial. Couldn't even get a fair investigation or nothing. Couldn't even have my appeals right. You sabotaged my ass, society, and the cops, and the system. A raped woman got executed. It was used for books and movies and shit. Ladder climbs, re-election, everything else. I got a big finger in all your faces. Thanks a lot. You're an inhumane bunch of fucking living bastards and bitches, and you're gonna get your asses nuked in the end. And pretty soon it's coming. 2019, Iraq's supposed to hit you anyhow. You're all gonna get nuked. You don't take fucking human life like this and just sabotage and rip it apart like Jesus on the cross and say thanks a lot for all the fucking money I made off of you. And not care about a human being and the truth being told. Now I know what Jesus was going through. They've been trying to tell the truth. And I keep getting stepped on. Concerned about if I was raped, I'm not giving you book and movie info. I'm giving you info for investigations and stuff, and that's it. We're gonna have to cut this interview, Nick. I'm not going to go into any more detail. I'm leaving. I'm glad. Thanks a lot, society, for railroading my ass. Okay, let's go.
It was really pretty incredible that Aileen had just sailed through the psychiatric test the day before. It makes you wonder what you'd have to do to fail.
You see at the end of the little clip there, where he says she passed the psychiatric test with flying colors the day before. It's she passed the psychiatric test because she wasn't crazy. She was traumatized. She's not insane. She's traumatized. She needed help, not to be treated like a villain. She's traumatized. Her eyes speak louder than her words. She says, I was tortured at BCI. Sonic pressure since 1997. That's microwave mind control. They were targeting her with frequencies. It's called signals intelligence. And she was being targeted by the NSA from Schriever Air Force Base. That's who controls signals intelligence in the U.S. She says, anytime I tried to write, it went higher because she was under remote neural monitoring. They watched her 24/7, 24 hours a day, and they just were torturing her in jail. So she was under remote neural monitoring and being tortured by putting pressure in her head. They've done it to me before. 100% they were using signals intelligence, microwave frequencies against her, just like they are doing now to all of the targeted individuals. She says, it was crushing my head, and they were using sonic pressure continually. She complained that they were putting stuff in her food to make her sick. So they were like poisoning her food to make her sick. She says in the video there, they were trying to make it look like she was crazy at all times. That's exactly what they do to targeted individuals. Their cover story, that the person is mentally ill, delusional, etc. It's the perfect cover story because they don't want people to believe anything you have to say. So if you say somebody's crazy, people automatically dismiss everything out of their mouth. She says it herself. She says, I think their whole plan was to make it look like I was crazy so nobody would believe what I had to say about anything and then drive me there if they could. Aileen didn't fear dying because she has suffered so much in life. She had lived a life of abuse and desperation. She talked about being surveilled before she killed. That sounds like gang stalking. She says, you sabotaged my ass, society, and a raped woman got executed. Now that's exactly what they do when you're a targeted individual. The whole plan against you is to sabotage every part of your life. Sabotage your job, sabotage your relationships, sabotage your car. And then she said, and I was used for books and movies and shit. And there we go. Charlize Theron won an Academy Award by, using her story. So her life was destroyed and she was put to death. And Charlize Theron got to win an Academy Award. I believe a lot of people in this world are living lives of quiet and lonely desperation. Desperation over money, desperation over being loved. This planet is a world of suffering for a lot of people, especially targeted individuals. I have been suffering, being tortured by microwave frequencies for over 5 years now. Aileen Wuornos was another tortured, traumatized, desperate soul who only found peace in death. Until next time, guys, be nice to each other.